Let me begin by thanking the Center for China Analysis and Strategy, the Department of Defense and Strategic Studies, Pune University, and the Center for Advanced Strategic Studies, Pune. Today, I'll be discussing basically on the emerging leadership in China. Given the opacity of course, the sources in China, it's difficult to give predictions. So I really want to caution there that giving predictions when it comes to, especially when it comes to leadership. We also know that leadership change can, actually be big and can change the course of geopolitics and lead a new course of developments. We can at least say that for at least 3 leaders that we are seeing now, President Xi Jinping, PM Modi, and recently President Trump. As far as China is concerned, the next Party Congress is going to happen in 2027, where we'll see at least a third of the CC members, the current CC members retiring, and new people coming in. Now, just very briefly, I'll speak about, of course, when Xi Jinping came in November 2012, he lost no time in implementing the mandate that was given to him. He showed that he was bold. He tackled all 3 departments, the CCP, the PLA, and the government at the same time. Then, the day after he actually was appointed, Xi Jinping convened an enlarged meeting of the CMC. Now, CMC is the Central Military Commission, and told all the present that henceforth political reliability and loyalty is the key when it comes to determining the promotions in PLA officers. And of course, the same also applied to the members, CC members. So as soon as he came, it became very apparent, the anti-corruption campaign started, that it's not just to, it's not going to peter out in just 6 months, it's continued, and we still see, purges happening in PLA, and we've also seen, like, which I'll, speak about, 5 members even in the CC have been removed. So by 20th Party Congress that happened, 2022, the message was very clear. And it was sent, to, and there was also a Xinhua dispatch that was issued the next day of the Party Congress that all the members, all the CC members have been personally vetted by Xi Jinping. So, at CC, so we actually know that the people well disposed to him or loyal to him were there in CC. At CCS, I'm just, also bringing up this. At CCS, we have just completed a study of, all the CC members, the permanent members, the full members. And it has been difficult. It has been time-consuming because of what I said. Information is not easily available on the Chinese leadership. Now this, but I think we have done a reasonably good job because this is like a 670-page document that we have just, compiled at the center. So I'll be focusing mainly on what we have found at the center during this research that we have just produced. Then, just for the students, I just wanted to say, like, what is the Central Committee? It is elected once in 5 years when the Party Congress happens, elected. So in the way the Chinese do elections. So 205 full members were elected and 171 alternate members were elected at the 20th Party Congress in Beijing in October 2022. Like I said, a day after the Congress was concluded, there was this article, and I mention this again because it is of great importance that we keep in mind, that all these people were actually personally vetted by Xi Jinping. And out of these, 5 members in the CC have been removed on charges of corruption, and at least 50 CC members that we have identified have direct links to Xi Jinping. Some of, some owe their elevation in, in the CC, especially to proximity to Xi Jinping, and we have also found proximity to his wife, Peng Liyuan. I have a couple of slides where I'll show a couple of members that are linked to different factions that we will be talking about. So then there are, in the CC being STEM technocrats, a 35% increase that we have seen from the 19th to the 20th Party Congress, and 8 members of the Politburo are actually from technocrats. So 8 of them are from there, and CC members, 35% increased. So to begin with a few observations, you know, this is the Politburo Standing Committee. You see all the members there, and the center of their universe, that is President Xi Jinping, right in the middle. So the first observation is that people at the ministerial level and, you know, like basically head of different departments are either on step with Xi Jinping or his proteges. But you know, as time goes by, and this is something that we've been talking about when we, you know, did the study, that as time goes by, and by the time 2027 the party congress happens, and slowly after that, Xi Jinping will, you know, basically kind of lose touch with some of the cadres, because those cadres will be appointed by his people. So they will not be directly, you know, linked to him. Now, you know, this will, what it will lead to is factionism will be endemic to CCP. So, you know, that is something that we found in the study. I'll just mention very briefly a few factions. We've identified a couple of more factions, but I'm going to talk about only 3 factions that I feel we should be talking about. One is the Fujian faction. We all know that Xi Jinping worked there for a long time, and the associates that he worked in Fujian were actually helicoptered, promoted when he became the general secretary of, you know, China. So this is something that I wanted to highlight. In this, you can see Sai Chi, very close to Xi Jinping. We can actually call him the shadow of Xi Jinping, and one of his closest allies. He's worked with Xi Jinping in Fujian. He's also worked with him in Qiang. Then He Lifeng, I have listed here. There are more members, but I've just listed a few. And he also worked under Xi Jinping. And in fact, he was one of the few people who attended Xi Jinping's marriage ceremony with Peng Liyuan. So he's that close to Xi Jinping. Then you see Wang Xiaohong here. He also is close to Xi Jinping. And, you know, there were few, you know, we also like looked at the Chinese media reports, also Japanese experts, and, you know, Hong Kong media that actually writes about this. And, you know, he is also called one of Xi Jinping's family army. So, you know, he is also very close to him. And I've specifically put He Weitung there because, yes, he's also very close to Xi Jinping, and also we are hearing a few rumors, so I thought, you know, all of you will be interested, but he's also extremely close to Xi Jinping. Now, when He Weitung was stationed at the 31st Group Army in Xiamen, and Xi Jinping was a deputy party secretary and governor of Fujian. So when Xi Jinping was the secretary of Zhejiang Provincial Party and He Weitung was stationed in Huzhou, Xi Jinping actually visited his unit almost more than a dozen times. So they're really close to each other. And he was also helicoptered in the CC, thanks to his closeness to Xi Jinping. Many of you will be surprised that why we have this. This is Peng Liyuan faction. Because, you know, many of us don't follow it like that. But when we were doing this study, we found that there are few CC members that are actually very close to Peng Liyuan. And we have also seen the way the Chinese media has also, you know, given that push to her, which is also unlike to the previous first ladies in China. So she, of course, you know, was part of the avant-garde song and dance troupe of the political department of PLS Jinan Military District in 1980. 1984, she was transferred to the song and dance troupe of the General Political Bureau and in July 1985, she actually joined CCP, and she holds the rank of Major General. So that is also something that I wanted to highlight. So that, why I'm highlighting is that she's actually she's been close to CC members. She's also been close to the Jiang Zemin faction and the Hu Jintao faction. So she's, you know, she has those connections. And we have identified a few people that actually are close to her. One is Ma Xingrui. When we were doing our research, we actually found that the resume of Ma Xingrui that was posted before he was elected to CC members, the place of birth was same as Peng Liyuan. But as soon as he became part of the CC members, that CV was removed from all the sources where we found those, and a new CV was updated where it did not show any link of the birthplace between him and Peng Liyuan. But he's been close to her. Then another one is In Li. Now, he's close to Peng Liyuan. He's the party secretary of Beijing, so very important post. And why I say he has a strong connection with Peng Liyuan, it is reported that it's actually In Li that helped her become the goodwill ambassador of WHO. And In Li has contributed a lot to her international and that image of a modern first lady of China. He also accompanies her to many events in China and also abroad, organized by WHO, Red Cross Society, and other such organizations. So he's also very close to Peng Liyuan. Then there's another name there, Li Hongchung. He, when we were going through the media accounts, be it social media, or be it old articles that were written about him, and even the new articles that were coming in, so many in the social media called him double-faced, because he kind of switched his loyalty. But he is someone who actually really stuck to Peng Liyuan. And in September 2015, when Peng Liyuan visited the US with Xi Jinping, she visited the Juilliard School of Music in New York, and she wanted to open one branch in China. And he did that, and he actually coined a new term for her. And that was a new term that was created specifically, and it was called Peng Liyuan's congratulatory letter spirit. So that was coined for her. So he's also been, very close to her and kind of, pushing it. And then the third that I want to mention is it's actually Qiang army that's called on, at different places, but this is actually the Qiang faction. So Xi Jinping also worked here. So the associate who he picked and promoted when he became the general secretary from this region, they formed this, faction. I have listed a few. You are already familiar with, them. And, so next, I think because of the time shortage, I will skip over the few factions, but whatever we have studied and whatever study we have done here with this, document, something that I can say is that Xi Jinping the main trend is that Xi Jinping will continue for 2027. I don't see his position weakening. The second scenario, in case there are issues where he has to step down, because we also have to realize that communism, the philosophy of Marxism and the party, he's very committed to that. In case he has to step down, and because it's the requirement of the party, then who will be his successor? We cannot say that, no, there's no clear-cut answer to that. And we do not see that anyone is being groomed or anyone, has actually been kind of pushed for that position. But there are a few names that probably we can just look at. I mean, just 4 names that I feel, if not, be where Xi Jinping is, but rise in the next party congress. And here, just want to mention Deng Xiaoxiang, the youngest in the Politburo Standing Committee. And though he's not been nominated as the vice chairman of CMC, which is, usually we see that person being the next president of China or the general secretary. So he's not been done that. But, again, during our research, there were a few China watchers in Japan who actually called him as the safest bet for Xi Jinping. They said he's the safest bet because he's loyal and he's not threatening. The way he's worked loyally, the way he's worked with his head down is something that actually, led to Xi Jinping getting close to Deng Xiaoxiang. And that is also going to, of course, he doesn't want to become the next Lin Piao also. That's another thing. So this we have observed that Deng Xiaoxiang has been close to Xi Jinping ever since Deng Xiaoxiang was appointed as his secretary in 2007. And slowly we see how he, actually rose in the party when Xi Jinping became the general secretary. And then after Deng Xiaoxiang, I think, okay, he's also a rising star. He's the member of the 20th CC, the deputy party secretary and the mayor of Beijing. Beijing, a very important position. And he has also worked with Tsai Chi, so he has that linkage also when he was the party secretary of Beijing. And Chen Qining, then mayor of Beijing, so he has those connections. He's also the rising star that we see during our study. Then next is Shen Yiqing. I mean, because she's a woman and there's no woman in the Politburo, the Politburo Standing Committee. Probably that disqualifies her to be, be where Xi Jinping is, but definitely a rising star, and she can rise. We can see her rising in the next, party congress. So she is also one of the persons we can talk about. Then Wang Xiaohong, very close to Xi Jinping, and one disqualification that he has for reaching where Xi Jinping is that he's from a security background, and that is also one of the reasons why Xi Jinping has also been hesitant when it comes to him. But he's extremely close to Xi Jinping, and when Xi Jinping actually took power in 2012, Wang Xiaohong was appointed in charge of the Henan Provincial Public Security Department. 2015, Wang Xiaohong, he became the Peking police chief, another very important post that actually goes to a person that enjoys the party chief's confidence. So that is something also that is in his favor. Then he was actually the best man in Xi Jinping and Peng Liyuan's wedding. So another close connection. And there was a photo that was circulated some time ago where Xi Jinping and Wang Xiaohong, they're singing, they're doing karaoke, and that photo did a lot of rounds, just showing how close he is to Xi Jinping. And this is 1995, the photograph. And then Wang Xiaohong has also worked with He Lifeng when he was the party secretary of Fuzhou. So he has those connections. So, okay. So these are basically, a little bit of predictions, what I can say. Now, the question is, if the leadership changes. First is if the leadership remains the same. That's the first scenario we spoke about in 2027. When it comes to India-China relationship, Xi Jinping has made it very clear what he thinks about India. He played the clip of Galwan Valley incident at the 20th Party Congress, where the past, present, and the future of Chinese leadership is there. So he has made it very clear how he looks at India. Now, in case Xi Jinping is not there and we see a change in the leadership, do we see a better India-China relationship? I don't think so. And this is something that I can predict. This is something that I can speculate. And, the only difference would be, not difference, but the policy will continue is that the successor might use lobbies, pro-China lobbies within our systems that we have created to penetrate India's economy, but the tensions at the border will remain. And I'll leave you with that. Thank you.